Hey everyone, this is Tank. New York City has a vast history, both beautiful and extreme. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about an accident that led to changes on how they make buildings in New York City, the Triangle Shirt Building Massacre. Let's get into it. March 25, 1911 was on a Saturday. Workers of the Triangle Shirtwaist Company were finishing up a day's work when a fire broke out at approximately 4:40 p.m., killing 146 workers. 125 of them were girls and women, and the majority of them were between the ages of 13 and 23. The entire event took less half an hour. Of the victims whose ages are known, the oldest victim was 43-year-old Providenza Pano, and the youngest were 14-year-olds Kate Leone and Rosaria Sarah Maltese. Because the doors to the stairwells and exits were locked, a common practice at the time to prevent workers from taking unauthorized breaks and to reduce theft, many of the workers could not escape from the burning building and jumped from the high windows. The fire led to legislation requiring improved factory safety standards and helped spur the growth of the International Ladies Garment Workers Union (ILGWU), which fought for better working conditions for sweatshop workers. It was said that the fire flared up in a scrap bin under one of the cutter's tables at the northeast corner of the 8th floor. The first fire alarm was sent at 4:45 p.m. by a passerby on Washington Place who saw smoke coming from the 8th floor. Both owners of the factory were in attendance and had invited their children to the factory on that afternoon. A bookkeeper on the 8th floor was able to warn employees on the 10th floor via telephone, but there was no audible alarm and no way to contact staff on the 9th floor. Although the floor had a number of exits, including 2 freight elevators, a fire escape, and stairways down to Green Street and Washington Place, flames prevented workers from descending the Green Street stairway, and the door to the Washington Place stairway was locked to prevent theft by the workers. The locked doors allowed managers to check the women's purses. Also, management wanted to keep out union organizers. While the fire was going on, a large crowd of bystanders gathered on the street, witnessing 62 people jumping or falling to their deaths from the burning building. Bodies of the victims were taken to Charities Pier located at 26th Street in the East River for identification by friends and relatives. Since this awful event, many changes were made to labor laws as well as business and building construction practices. Like, I believe public buildings have doors open out. One of the many things that came out of this. As for the 2 men that owned this company, Max Blank and Isaac Harris, they never went to jail for their work conditions or infractions. The building where this happened is still standing, the Ash Building, which had been built in 1901. Later renamed the Brown Building, it still stands at 23 to 29 Washington Place near Washington Square Park, on the New York University NYU campus. The building has been designated a National Historic Landmark and a New York City landmark. This is one of the many stories this city has. Many are good, and some are bad, but they help make the heart of this city and the citizens in it. Some situations impact the way we live today. If you want more information on this incident or want to visit the site, get the information online. Until next time, this is Tank saying laters.